the interesting part was right after that, you were able to land a role as a sales engineer in 6 months. If looking back when you got your first, job at Allstate Insurance, did you think you'd ever become a sales engineer?
Never. First of all, I didn't even know what it's. Let's just talk first. That job at Allstate was literally back in 2014, 15, right? That's when I left. So it started in 2012. So we're talking about, first of all, you have to know when I learned what a sales engineer was. That was 6 months ago. I didn't even know what a sales engineer was 6 months ago. So when we talk about this journey that I took in these past 6 months, we're talking about from knowing not even what a sales engineer is to landing a very, very sweet role in a pretty prestigious company. It's a company you can't mention CRM without naming them. And I just happened to land a role with them after learning what a sales engineer was. I took a small course. So your question was, if I look back at Allstate, we're talking about 2015. Man, I didn't even know what a sales engineer was back in May. And here I am. So the answer is no. So even back in May, I would have never predicted that this is where I'd be at all.
And how did you find out about this position, and what made you say, you know what, I want to be a sales engineer? Like, what was the influence? What was that spark of stimulus that said, I'm going to do this?
Okay. Well, full transparency right now, like full time, what I was doing at the time, full time was a restaurant trainer. I go around making sure like people are doing the right, standard operating procedures in the different branches of this restaurant. And pretty much I'm a line cook. So I flip chicken at your local chicken joint. You know what I mean? And, but I wanted to get back to sales, right? I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. I want to get back to sales. And a lot of people were like, hey, man, don't go back to sales. The income is so up and down. You're recently engaged. You want to be thinking about your future and some stability. You should take this coding boot camp. You can get a job in like 12 weeks, learn how to code and all this other. And I was just like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I could be a coder. You know what I mean? Like maybe I could learn, but I don't know if that's for me. But I entertained it. So a lot of times I found myself looking up coding boot camps just to see what they entailed and things like that. And then, but I was still looking up sales jobs, right? And you know how the internet works. 6 months ago, I had no idea how the internet worked, but now I feel like I do, right? The internet just takes some things that you searched and just tries to come up with something that will fit you. And you take sales and then you take coding and engineering and you put them together and you get sales engineering. So the first day that this popped up in I don't know, I was on Instagram or something. I was like, what is a sales engineer? What is that? So I started to look up YouTube videos. I'm one of those people that when I want to find something out, I'll engulf myself. Now already, just, backstory, remember when I was on Nobilis, when I was still doing my digital marketing agency, I was already starting to think of sales as a consultant role now. There's a leadership kind of thing to sales. And so I already had that in the back of my mind for the sales role that I was looking for, something that was a little bit more consultative, right? So when sales engineering came about and I'm learning about the role, I looked up so many YouTube videos about what is a sales engineer, came across so many great people, Chris White, Ramsey, and I know these guys. And I just started to really, Tanner Drake, he's a really, really cool guy at VMware. And I just started to engulf myself in what is a sales engineer. I became a subject matter on the role itself. And then I got led to a course that I could actually take to get a certificate in sales engineering. I just took the course and this all happened in May. So from May to now, October, literally, poof. And I was just like, this is exactly what I felt like I should be doing. This is the type of sales role. And here's the thing, like some sales engineers will tell you this isn't sales, which is so crazy to me. It's so insane to me. But I'm really, I feel like this is the most perfect thing that I could be doing. And I'm really, really excited for what my career is about to look like in the next 5 years.
The Tony Moze Podcast.